Hello everybody, I've got a box full of vintage books back from CGC. Now these are books older than 1975, and what's interesting about this submission is I don't normally do a lot of mid-grade to lower grade books, but there's quite a few of those in here, and I've had requests to do more of those books. So here you go. Let me go ahead and get this unboxed, and we'll take a look together. Okay, let's do the higher grade books first. Now, you may have seen in a prior video I had a book, I believe it was an X-Men 49 featured, that came from my multi-mag pack, which is the plastic bag, not too dissimilar from just a regular poly bag nowadays. Check out that video. I'll put a link in the description and hopefully above right here as well, that you can check that out. But there were 4 books in that bag, and the one valuable, ultra valuable one was the X-Men 49, but they're all awesome books. So that's the ones we're going to feature right now. Let me go ahead and do this one first because it's kind of annoying, kind of interesting, and I don't really know what to make of it. This is a Daredevil number 45 with that great, Statue of Liberty background, with the realistic photo, with obviously the art on top of it. And the interesting thing, or not so interesting really, it's really annoying, is when this book came out of that multi-mag, it had a pop staple. And I don't know if that was like a common thing or how it could have gotten popped while inside the bag. I guess if it's jolted around enough, it could. But that was a little bit frustrating because this book otherwise is a 9.8. This is a 9.8 through and through. It was the nicest book in the entire bag, except I couldn't believe it. Stupid pop staple. It was very frustrating. Anyway, nothing I can do, obviously, but just for a pop staple on a 9.8 book, they dinged it all the way down to 7.0. It is white pages, which is good. But yeah, man, 7.0, I thought a book could get 8.0 or more or better. But anyway, that's just something to talk about. I don't think it's going to make a huge value difference, but obviously having a book that presents like a 9.8, and a 7.0 is, at least it was on this one and not on the X-Men 49, which got an extremely high grade. The next one, we had an Amazing Spider-Man number 66 that got 9.0. Now, I had this as an 8.5 after I was done with it, so 9.0 is an extremely good grade on this book. The spine was just kind of eat up with ticks. Not all of them were, but this one in particular, this one book, for some reason had just a ton of big, medium-sized ticks on the spine. But otherwise, yeah, take away the spine, this book is, 9.4, 9.6. Look how perfect the corners are in this book. It's just insane how nice the corners are. And obviously, look at the colors. It's just like it was sitting on the stands waiting to be purchased, right? So, very, very, very cool. Awesome books. And last but not least is the Hulk 109. And just absolutely vibrant, brilliant ink colors on this book. And it got the 9.6. Now, I had this as, let me see. I actually had this as a 9.2. I don't know whether that's a typo on my piece of paper there or whether I actually did have that as a 9.2. And I can't remember why I would have had that as a 9.2. I didn't put notes on why I thought it was 9.2. I just put that it was a 9.2. But looking at it right here, there's a couple spine ticks there. I can't for the life of me figure out why I gave it a 9.2. But we'll definitely be happy to get 9.6 white pages. And all 3 of these got white pages, which kind of confirms the X-Men 49 got off-white to white pages, which is 100% not the case. It sat around in that bag for 60-odd years, whatever. And they are pristine white on the inside. Pristine white. And if I can find some pictures, I'll put them up here on the screen. I don't know if I have them to. I might actually. And I will do that if possible. Now, we're going to do another Hulk next. Okay, yeah, this might be the last upper mid-grade, lower high grade book that we do. We got a Hulk number 141. I have this as an 8.0. All of these were raw books to start. I had this as a 6.5 when I started. We ended up getting the 8.0, which is exactly what I anticipated getting. So we'll definitely be happy about that one. And now we have a Captain America 117. I had this as a 5.0 when I got it. Now you can see there's quite a bit of patina, yellowing to this book. I didn't do any kind of whitening or anything on this book, any of these books. I just basically cleaned, pressed, did all that stuff, and whatever it was, it was. So I just took out the defects, left, as a rule, I don't whiten books anymore, except for just the tiniest little things here or there. As a rule, I've just kind of stopped doing any of that stuff on any book older than Bronze Age. I just find the paper is just way too brittle. It just doesn't accept the peroxide or whatever well, with pop staples and all kinds of other problems. So I just don't do that anymore. It's just not worth it, in my opinion. Unless it's like this tiniest little thing that you can just get off, that would be kind of the exception. So we got Captain America 117. I'm anticipating getting a 6.5 on this book. We got 8.0. That is pretty insane to get 8.0 when you're expecting a 6.5. Yeah, man, I'll take that all day long. That is way higher than I expected. So, CGC is the experts, right? So we'll have to just abide by that. We have a Submariner number 8 with this deep, dark black cover, which absolutely will show every single defect in it. You can see there's kind of a reader's crease up and down the spine here. So there's only so much you can do with that book anyway. I had it as a 4.0 when I got it, and I think I was able to get it up to a 5.0. I think normally when you get a full reader's crease, I think it caps the book at like 5.0. But I think because it was only a partial one, like from here to here, we can get a little bit higher than that. So I had 5.5. And that is spot on exactly what we got. And I'm pretty terrible normally at grading Silver Age and mid-grade and lower grade, but maybe I'm getting better at it. And usually when I'm wrong, it's on the low side, so that's kind of good too. Maybe I'm a little too conservative still. We got Tales to Astonish number 93. Absolutely phenomenal cover. One of the greatest covers, in my opinion, ever done, with the Silver Surfer and Incredible Hulk. I mean, just look at that artwork on there. That's just insanity. Just absolutely love this. And this is the first full Silver Surfer appearance. I didn't realize that, honestly. First full Silver Surfer appearance outside of Fantastic Four. Okay. That's pretty cool. So it's a Hulk versus Silver Surfer, which is pretty epic. And so anyway, we got, I had it as a 4.0, and I thought I was able to get it up to a 5.5 again. So about the same as the last book. And we hit Highway 55, 55 mile an hour again, perfectly on that book, and going to be very, very happy. I mean, that is an exceptionally well-presenting book. There's this one crease right here, but look at the colors on that book. That is just absolutely tremendous. Okay, and we've got 2 more left. And one of the classic books of all time, Captain America number 100. With that classic pose from Captain America on the front. Once again, you can see, the yellowing on the book. It certainly could stand some whitening, but especially when you see the staples on this side of the cover, you don't really want to be putting a lot of peroxide in that area. And it just makes those staples very brittle. So I would never think of whitening this book in particular with that. Not that I'm doing it anyway, but I would definitely not do it even on a more modern book that had staples in that location. Without being extremely cautious and maybe I don't even know if I would do it. So anyways, that's something to keep in mind if you're getting into the hobby and doing that type of thing. So we got a 3.0 on this book is what I thought when I got it in. It was pretty rough, but it had good bones. I thought I was able to get it up to 5.0. So we go from 3.0 to 5.0. I'm going to be extremely happy. And that's exactly what we did. Now, I'm looking at the grades here, and I'm like, I must go back through it, but except for that 8.0, which I got that was higher than I expected, it's pretty eerie because I've never had my grading be this spot on with... This has to just be luck. This is just one of those outliers where I just happen to get the grades right because I just use my grading tool, the one that I created in Excel. And I just basically go through the different areas of the book and I just rate them based on my tool, what I came up with. A little bit of trial and error and testing over time. I've improved it over time. And yeah, it gets you pretty close to the ballpark normally, but today it's just nailing it. And so I don't want to say it's my grading. It's my grading tools that is nailing the grades on these. And certainly last but not least, we have a Tales to Astonish, number 90. Which is a key. First appearance of Bara, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and first appearance of Abomination. And it says letter from Bill Mantle. But yeah, this is a Jack Kirby cover, and that's what makes it a key in my opinion. Is anytime you get Jack Kirby working on this run back then, that is something you want to have in the collection. I mean, I don't know of anybody that is not a Jack Kirby fan. I mean, who doesn't want his books in their collection? So we got Tales to Astonish, number 90. And I had it as a 2.5. I had this one as the lowest grade copy in the entire collection that I had, that I was going to submit. So you can just see there's quite a bit of wear all up and down the spine. Everywhere in this book has corner creases. You know, but overall, for a lower grade book, this book still presents really nicely. So I was hoping to get it up to that 3.5 range. So let's see. And to get it to 4.0 is like awesome. 2.5 to 4.0. I mean, I really can't ask for any more than that. That is mission accomplished kind of. And I think even if I did like the full treatment of whitening, doing all that stuff, I mean, I don't think we can get above 4.0 to 4.5 maybe. But this book is definitely not a 5.0. So we would never get there. So basically what I'm saying is doing all that extra stuff, potentially making books a little bit more brittle. You can safely do it up to a certain point, but it's just not worth it because honestly, on books like this, you're not going to increase the grade much. So if you're getting into the hobby and you're thinking of doing the whitening and all that stuff, consider the book you're working on. Like, you know, if it has a crease all the way up and down the spine and a reader's crease, it can't get more than 5.0 anyway. So if whitening, the book takes it to a presentation of 8.0, without that crease, what's the point? You're still going to get 4.0, 4.5, 5.0 anyway at the most. So if you're not improving the grades on these books, what is the point? If it's your book and you're never going to be selling it and you don't care about what anybody thinks and you just want it to look the best it can possibly look on the wall, it's your book. You do whatever you want with it. But if you're thinking about, you know, selling these things, or if you're just doing it for profit or just to get a certain grade, yeah, it's sometimes, or a lot of the time, it's just not worth it on books older, typically, than Bronze Age, in my experience. So yeah, there were a lot of great books in this submission today. I'm glad I got to do some mid-grade, lower-grade books. It was an absolute pleasure to work on and handle some of these books. And yeah, man, I wish I had the bandwidth and the money to collect these books like this. I'm going to stick to my 80s and 90s. McFarlane, newsstands, that type of thing, because that's really all I have. I don't even have time for that. I wish I had more time for everything. But extremely happy with today's submission. And yeah, so stay nerdy. Thanks for watching. And I will see you in the next video.